The unstoppable power of Skull Servants, it appears that the Dragon Cannon Special is back, and 6 Samurai, and so much more. Make sure you guys smash the like crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. This is amazing to see. We actually have working Skull Servants for you. Now, I love this deck. I love the fact that there's so many cool plays that you're kind of able to kind of navigate down here. And you get some very, very interesting takes in the extra deck department that you get access to that normally a lot of decks don't even get the chance to see out here. Now, first thing I see here, I see that the Volcorion, the Rotting Phoenix, is in here. So what is it? If you control a zombie, special summon this from hand. During the main phase, we can return this card from the field to the hand. Then we can special summon a zombie monster from our hand. I forgot zombies had a free extender in the TCG department. It's actually pretty good, and that's also a tuner. Oh no, that turns on these little buggers. Okay. I also see down here we have an interesting side deck choice here, which is the Swords, our Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light. But, I mean, during your opponent's turn, we can banish this from the graveyard, and your opponent's monsters cannot attack you directly this turn. So this ensures that, you know, maybe this duelist had an extremely aggressive locals out there. Might be one of the reasons why you see a card like this showing up as a side deck option to try to slow down the pace of things. I don't hate this idea, actually. I think that this is actually pretty good. This is one of those things that you gotta appreciate when you make an accurate tech choice for your local environment. Outside of that, I mean, we're using the Skull Servant stuff to turbo up and go places. 2 King of the Skull Servants is absolutely fine. You do not want to bulk down too hard on these. You're also going to notice we are playing 2 copies of the vanilla. This is also fine. There has to be a fine line in the deck build department where you have to adjust and compensate for, you know, the bricks. And I think this duelist did a fantastic job at that. Now, we have, oh boy, it's the Zillion, the X, and the Y special. Now, here's the thing with this. We do see this deck, it shows up every once in a while. It's, I think because players don't really know how to kind of counter pick for this, or they're just not really too aware of it. But my other complaint with this is you have to draw this card in order to get like the maximum value off of X-Cross. It's going to be like my only major complaint about ever wanting to play this. But when you are able to see this, this deck comes together as one of the scariest things that you can imagine. Now, obviously, you are going to have to play A, B, and C in here. We did recently see a successful run on just the ABC part of this deck, not even worrying about the extra quote-unquote fat in here, but either way, a successful run like this is pretty good. So yeah, we're going with 2 of each of the pieces here. You also do have the built-in Thurion piece in here. You also do see, because this card wants the free value, you do have to always constantly play the 1X head cannon in here. It is a little bit frustrating to have to play the brick, but you've upped the deck to 45 cards so that hopefully, you know, this doesn't become an issue. It's a cool thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have to play, you know, bad cards, just up the deck size. You know, it should technically reduce the variance of the bad card coming to your hand and actually ruining your day. So it's always going to be something really cool. Also see we're citing some Bastiles down here. We're also only doing 1 copy of the Union controller. I don't know if I feel about that, honestly. I guess to be fair, you have to flush out the rest of your extra deck with like good cards, so you kind of have to give, you know, some negativity and actually kind of cutting some of this stuff. But if you do get the 1 of this off, you're probably going to be doing really, really well. So that's kind of cool. Next up here, we have 6 Samurai with the fiendsmith package. Now, I want to warn you here. Yes, we are playing fiendsmith cards. No, the fiendsmith package doesn't make this deck incredibly bad. You just need to understand that you have to rely on some 6 Samurai cards as a good, consistent base in order to get this deck, in order to, you know, set up and do its thing. Other cool things down here. I see that we are doing the Desiree with the Rex Tremende. Rex has been showing up a little bit more in some of these lists. it kind of impresses me that people like Rex as much as they actually do out here, just to kind of see what they can do. Also, the card is probably one of the cheaper versions of things you can have out here. I also see, because you are playing this, you get access out here to Kyrie's Banish Fusion Summon. We've all seen that we can convert a Desiree into the Rex. It gets kind of disgusting, actually, but I don't know, I just find it interesting that, we're not going with the rest of the fiendsmith stuff, the other side where, you're flinging the Desiree at your opponent out of the extra deck, the standard good stuff with that. We're just kind of taking a little bit more of a step back here and going, hey, we can do the standard stuff that this deck wants to do, and that's actually okay, to say the least. Also, let's call it what it is. I mean, Six Samurai did get one cool new card here, which, it's Six Samurai monsters gain 600 attack and defense during the battle phase only, and then during your opponent's main phase, we can banish one 6 strike card from your graveyard, target one card on the field, and destroy it. And if you control 2 or more Six Samurais, we can special summon this card from your graveyard. I mean, okay. I mean, who doesn't like some free value? But I don't know, you're still playing Six Samurai, and it's very apparent that we're relying very heavily on the Fiendsmith cards to make this work. Oh, we actually have some Yubel for you today. Now, I do not think that Yubel is too far off of a bad position right now. The deck definitely has been asleep, I will tell you that. But you're going to notice something kind of hilarious down here. And it's the Nightmare Corruptor Ibli is back at it again. I think that this is a cute option because obviously, Gigantic Sprite into this is cool, but like you have pretty easy access to making this, right? It's as long as you can fulfill the requirements. Oh, hey, look. Level 2, boom. We can actually make the Gigantic Sprite and then Ibli lock our opponent in Yubel. That's not something that you see all the time. You've also got to understand, you're trying to play Yubel right now, which is not... having to play Yubel is kind of hard in this current era. It's not like it's a bad thing, but it's just you have such an uphill battle because with Phantom still restricted, you don't get the reset value on this. You got to be a little bit more careful with the resources. Yes, Shavara did come back and was a huge help to every Fiend toolbox deck out there, but I don't really feel that this really changes the course of things. I think at this point in time, yes, we are in a position right now that this deck looks very fun and, probably a little bit competitively viable to most people, but you're still playing Yubel. All right, I don't know. If people still ignorantly choose to play into this deck and they're just like, wow, I can't believe I lost to this. Yeah, that's because the deck you still damage reflect and kill your opponent. And your opponent's just like, wow, I can't believe that. Yeah, I can't believe that either. Ooh, we have Regenesis. So this is one of the things that I think we're going to start to see a lot of. You're going to see a lot of people out here cooking with a lot of different Regenesis ideas. Now, Regenesis is not a bad deck by any stretch of the imagination. You're going to have to find your build. Where do I want to go with this deck? What variation of this deck is going to be the best that I am going to want to access? And if you can get the answer to that, I think you can work out pretty well. Now, this one was going with the Guardian and the voiceless voice stuff, which is not bad. We've all seen, protection off of this, shuffle back resources, a 4,100 attack point Skull Guardian that's essentially an Omni negate every single turn is going to be a pain in the ass for people to actually deal with. But this is going to start to be the, beginning stages of these cool ideas that players are going to be tossing around out here with Regenesis. So we will see which version is going to kind of stick around out here and be the dominant one. But you're going to have to be patient with this. You're going to have to wait and see, who's going to be the most successful variant out here. And we're going to have to probably hope that it's something creative. The Regenesis cards are freaking ignorant, man. I'm also surprised they're not playing the Soul Charge for this package. which is kind of interesting considering, you know, what we've got going on here. Also, we're not even dedicating slots to Regenesis, it's just Torah, which is fine. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.